Hello and welcome. I'm Danette Kubanda, and joining me today for a very special interview is Debbie Peterson. She's a local government expert, former mayor, city council member, and planning commissioner, and she's the author of The Happiest Corruption, Sleaze, Lies, and Suicide in a California Beach Town. Thank you so much for being with us today, Debbie.
Thanks for having me.
So, Debbie, we all know that we have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But what should we as the people be doing?
Well, Abraham Lincoln said that, so I think we can take it from him. We need to be participating in local government. Local government is the government that most affects us in our day-to-day lives. It's also the one that's easiest to get through to because you can go to a council meeting and speak your piece, and it usually gets recorded on the record.
And it feels like, government's such a big entity. Can one person really make a difference?
Yes, and I'll give you a couple of examples. Our town had a measure that lost by 4 votes. We had neighboring cities where mayors lost elections by 2 votes. So it's critical that you go, vote, and take someone with you. But more than that, I'm suggesting you take it a step further.
And what would that next step be?
Well, I'll give you another example. A local school principal and his boys adopted a tortoise, a desert tortoise that they rescued that was crossing the freeway. And turns out he was protected species, but they were having trouble on their street with people speeding, and they had been advocating for speed humps in the street for about 9 years without success. So they came to me and asked me what to do. I said, go to the council meeting, get the people there, have them explain why it's important, and tell the story about Speedy. Because what happened was Speedy escaped one day and trotted across the street, and someone was speeding and squashed Speedy. And once they told that story at the city council meeting, they got their speed humps.
Wow. If only they, had listened earlier, my goodness. And you say that if you don't act, lawmakers can become lawbreakers. Tell me about that.
Yeah, government's just like any other organization. You need to have a board that's riding herd on the chief executive. You need to do regular audits. You need to do good fiscal housekeeping. And very often that doesn't happen in local government, more even than in business, and more even, I think, than in nonprofits, because the people who are supposed to be overseeing it really is us. It's we, the people. And if we aren't doing that, then people who are opportunists will take advantage of the system. And it's our money that we've put in there to serve us that they end up walking away with instead of us getting the services that we need.
What are some red flags that we could be looking out for?
First thing you should do really is go to council meetings and read agendas and read budgets. If you can't understand what you're reading, there's probably something wrong. If it doesn't make sense, if it doesn't pass the smell test, it's time to take a second look at it. Those are the easiest ones.
And you say more people power equals more safety, less taxes, and better services. So it really is up to us, huh?
Absolutely. Yeah, it is our government. It's the government we established. It's our institution, and it's up to us to make sure that it's serving us.
So what would you say is critical for us to take from your interview today? What do we need to know most importantly?
The most important thing is get involved, pay attention, go to meetings, because if you don't, your city might become the next Happiest Corruption.
And speaking of Happiest Corruption, I also want to let everybody know that you also have a podcast called Corruption Chronicles. So to learn more about Debbie, her book, and her podcast, The Corruption Chronicles, please visit her website at debbiepeterson.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.